Welcome back. On the table with me this morning is Somi Uranta. Now, you remember that Somi Uranta is a friend of the Bumper Breakfast, and we usually find something to spur you, to charge you, to propel you into your future, into the next day to talk about. Now, today is Friday, pardon me, and it's the close of a week. A lot of people are feeling some measure of disappointment already. But should you feel those disappointments, that's why I have Somi here this morning to talk to me about this. Somi, how are you today?
I'm very well, and you?
I'm very well, thank you. I love your attire, but I really do not have time to start telling our people to take a look at it. It's tying the wrapper. I'm sure you can catch a glimpse of it. It's tying the wrapper. Yeah. But let's talk. We're talking about dealing with mistakes, and a lot of people naturally just feel the mistakes. Something you must never touch.
That is the way a lot of people see life. There is men that make mistakes, and eventually the mistakes men make the man. Mistakes make the man. You see, if we are afraid of making mistakes, we will just stay in our comfort zone. We will not venture out. And if you don't venture out, you can never achieve anything. If you remain in your cozy cocoon, the cocoons of life, you will just be there. Nothing happens with life. So the best way to make life what is salt and onion, if you like, is to go ahead, fail your way through, set up a goal you want to achieve, go for it, and at the end of the day, both the mistakes and the corrections and all that will result into you getting what you want, getting your aim and objective achieved.
So you're saying it's not really a big deal to make mistakes?
That's a good thing. I'm saying that it is a good thing. Yeah. Because a man who never makes mistakes, never made anything, or never makes anything. Now, a man called Thomas Watson, the owner of IBM, International Business Machines, a company executive of his made a mistake, an error in judgment that cost the company $600,000 loss. The next day, the pressmen, gossip and all that, columnists, they went to him to subscribe and said, how do you feel about
this mistake that was made by your staff?
Yeah. And when they got to something, they were so amazed, they were astounded when they discovered that the guy was seated on his desk, working. And they bumped into the man's office and said, Tom, what is wrong? Is that not the guy who cost your company $200,000 just yesterday? And Tom Watson, he turned and looked at him and said, yes, what do you want to do? You want to fire him so that someone else will hire his experience? Mistakes are what makes every great achievement or attainment in life came
out of a mistake.
So if we let go of our mistakes, we want to be perfect. You'll be perfect to nothing. The only way forward is for you to see in life. Every upward climb must be tasking. When you discover your journey in life begin to be so smooth, watch it out. Most probably, you might be going downhill. Every upward climb must be tasking, you must exert energy as you're moving from one flight of stairs to the other.
To the other.
You are exerting energy, and it's life. Life is like this. This is the symbol of life. Like this. Anything, when you see it this way, that is death.
I keep wondering, we talk about failures a lot, and people just imagine that failing is the end of life. Now you've just proven to me that it's even necessary to make mistakes. Are you now saying, because the crop of people that we deal with could now begin to intentionally make mistakes?
In fact, if you can intentionally make mistakes, it's even better for you than not to try at all. It is even better that you intentionally make mistakes, because these are parts of life. There is no difference between success and failure. It's just a process. If I decide now that I want to go to Lagos Island, maybe to VI, maybe my car gets bad or something happened, I could no longer use my car. I call one of these hailing taxis to come pick me up. And when the guy gets there and he picks me along the line, the tire maybe had an issue came up and he packed to pick. You find that in the process, when the first thing, my intention is to get to the island.
Yes.
But my car developed fault. That's a failure experience. Then I hailed a cab who came to pick me. That's a success. Then along the line again, you know, on the way the tire had an issue. You know, you have mistakes. I mean, failures, successes. Until so all those things does not count. They are just processes to attaining our goal in life. What counts is, are you focused on what you want to get done? That is what is important. If you are focused, all these things will come your way. The failure, the success. Look, to me, I see them as a process. Just like in water in a fountain. When that water is energized, when it goes up, let's assume that is the success. But when it gets to its peak, that deep
is the failure.
When it gets to that, it still goes up again. Now, question is it not the same water that goes up that still come down and is still going up again?
Hey,
that's life for you.
Wisdom from Somi Uranta this morning. Thank you so much for joining me on the table. You know, I said you're going to have something to just propel you into this weekend and erase all of the mistakes and all of the, depressing thoughts that you thought you were having. Thank you so much, Somi. And now I'm going to see you again next week, and we're coming with something more powerful.
Sure.
I need to take another break. I was talking about tourism, and that's one of the hardest hit industries around the world. Even in Nigeria, yes, ours was even more difficult before the pandemic started. But now, since the pandemic, it almost seems like it has been eroded. But I have the zonal coordinator of NTDC right here in the studio with me this morning, and we're talking about the World Tourism Day 2020.